Are you wondering, will OCD ever go away? We're going to talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist and I make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And today I want to answer that million-dollar question. Will OCD ever go away? Will I always have these thoughts? Will I always have these feelings? And I'm going to talk to you about how the question in and of itself is all wrong. But before I get started, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, because I do make new videos for anxiety and OCD every Thursday. Okay, so let's talk about this big question. What's wrong with the question? It's a legitimate question. It is, but when we're focusing on when will these thoughts or feelings go away, and we're gauging our success on how many intrusive thoughts do I have per day, per hour, per minute, we're looking at the wrong thing. Because OCD is about how we react to those intrusive thoughts and feelings. Success is based on the distress, on the discomfort that those thoughts and feelings give you. So when you're doing therapy or you're doing exposures or challenges, and hopefully you know what those things are, because that is the road to success. That's the road to long-term happiness and crushing OCD. The goal of those things is to trigger your OCD or to not do your compulsions and learn how to sit in the uncomfortableness that OCD leaves you. That's the magic sauce, is can I learn how to handle these thoughts and feelings? Can I learn how to handle it without giving it importance, without giving it significance, without feeling so stressed out about it? That's the secret sauce. And that's what you're doing when you do exposures or when you don't give in to OCD and you don't do a compulsion and you make OCD wait it out with you and say, we're not going to do it. Sorry, OCD. I'm going to sit here and feel uncomfortable, and so are you, right? And yeah, do sometimes those intrusive thoughts or feelings disappear? Sometimes they do. And do they stay away for a long time? Yeah, sometimes they do. And sometimes they don't. But that's not the part that we're looking at. What we're looking at is, do they bother me? That's the part that we're looking at. And we can confidently say that when you learn how to sit in discomfort over and over again, and you do the opposite of what OCD tells you feels right. You know, you don't avoid things that OCD tells you to avoid, and you do things that OCD tells you to not do. And you don't do the compulsions and the rituals that you're doing to ward off bad things from happening or get rid of a feeling that OCD wants you to get rid of. When you're not best friends with OCD, yeah, eventually OCD kind of gets quieter for the most part. Sometimes it doesn't, but it won't bother you as much. So OCD is not something that gets cured. It's not something that just randomly goes away and never comes back. It's different for each person. So nobody will have a crystal ball and tell you exactly what it will be like for you to live with OCD. It's not a cold, it's not the flu. It's not like you take some medicine and then boom, it goes away. But you can learn skills and you can learn how to manage it in such a way that when you have those thoughts or feelings, you're like, it doesn't bother you. And for a lot of people, those thoughts and feelings don't even show up anymore because you're like, whatever. But for some people, they stick around. But the importance isn't there. The distress, the discomfort isn't there. And that's what you want to measure, is how can I get to a place where OCD thoughts and feelings don't bother me? And the way to do that is to not do compulsions, to learn how to sit with the discomfort. And just like jumping into a cold pool, eventually the water doesn't feel that cold anymore and you can tolerate it. That's the end goal. And that's why building those skills and learning how to not avoid what OCD wants you to avoid and to not do the compulsions that OCD wants you to do is so important. And I teach these lifelong skills. I teach them to parents, to teach their kids. And I'm actually coming up with a class where I'm going to teach that to you directly. So there is so much hope. I've worked with so many people, and I've talked to so many people globally around the world who have had really, really rough, intense OCD and got to a point where those thoughts and feelings didn't bother them anymore. That's success. But, just like diabetes or asthma or any lifelong condition, you have to keep those skills sharpened. You have to keep exposing yourself to stuff that might upset your OCD, or even if it doesn't upset your OCD anymore, you still want to expose yourself to those things so that you keep OCD away. And OCD likes to come in disguises, and it will show up in different ways with different themes or different feelings. And you have to just do the same thing that you would do with any other theme, right? Ask yourself, what does OCD want me to do? I'm going to do the opposite of what OCD wants. If OCD wants me to do this compulsion, then I'm not going to do it. If it says don't touch that, then I'm going to touch it, right? It's the same thing regardless of theme, but you do have to understand the different disguises that OCD wears. You have to know, the framework of how you're going to approach OCD. When I have an intrusive thought or feeling, this is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm not going to do because it's going to grow my OCD. And so I am coming out with a class for kids and teens on how to crush OCD. I'm really excited about offering that to you because I know a lot of people have reached out to me and they want a deeper dive than what my YouTube channel can give them. And they want me to teach them, in order, from the very beginning to the very end of what I need to know to crush my OCD and how do I do it, and then how do I keep it up. And so I have created a class. It's coming out at the end of September of 2022. And you can get on the wait list if you're interested in joining it. It'll be for kids ages 7 to 21. And I know 21's not a kid, but it really is for everybody, but it is designed for minors. And so if you're interested, I've made it super short. Basically what I did is I took everything that I teach in my therapy practice and I made it into a course so that people can teach themselves, because a lot of us just want to, learn the facts and learn how we have to approach OCD and then just start working on it, because the bulk of it is actually just knowing what to work on. That's important. So I will leave a link below to get on the wait list. And if you join the wait list, you'll be notified early about the class being open and you'll get a discount as well. So I hope that you find the sparkle in everything you do, and I hope you work on those skills. So yeah, OCD can get really tiny and you can go on living your life. Take care.